When you look at yoga through the system of 5 elements, it's quite interesting to break down the different aspects of the practice, which is really a holistic practice of self-study and also of self-healing or medicine. So we have in the Chinese medicine system, we have 5 elements, which are different from the Ayurvedic system. So if you know that system, this is not the same, although some of the words are the same. In terms of the water element, which is bladder, urinary bladder and kidney, what you'd want to emphasize is a restorative type practice, where you're really allowing energy to rebuild deep in the kidneys and the adrenal glands. Restorative practice and deeper inhaling. So maybe alternate nostril breathing, where you're drawing the breath down into the lower back or behind the navel, the kidneys. And then when you look at the earth element, it's very different. You want to emphasize strengthening, increasing your metabolism, building muscle mass and strength, the integrity of the tissue, collagen in the body, strength of digestion. And these are also part of the traditional Hatha Yoga practice. So there are postures like peacock, plank, chaturanga, and even breathing practices like Bhastrika or Kapalabhati that help build the fire of the navel region. So those would be good for the earth element. And then if you look at the wood element, this is more traditional movement that we think of, I think, in terms of vinyasa yoga, where you have a rhythmic movement, moving with your breath. You're trying to regulate and get a steady rhythm in the breath. That's very wood element. Constant movement, but also stretching and releasing muscle tension would benefit usually the wood element, although it could be overdone. So any of these aspects of yoga could be overdone. And we have 2 more elements. We have the fire element, which actually has 2 different aspects. In the fire element, you have 2 layers, kind of. The outer layer is the pericardium, and that also needs to be released or stretched, kind of like the wood element. So you're talking about backward bending, opening the chest, shoulders, again, deep breathing, but then there's this more emotional aspect where you want to sing, chant bhakti yoga, devotional yoga, or just community, building community and connection to others. So you're really opening the heart in the fire element. And then the deeper layer of the fire element is related to the heart itself. And I think the practices that would most benefit that deeper layer would just be meditation, introspection, deep stillness, and cultivating a sense of deep peace, or even a deeper sense of bliss that comes through meditation. Could be beneficial to connecting to the heart, that deeper layer of the fire element. And the last one is the metal element. So this has to do with letting go and surrender. The organ that goes with metal is the lung and also the large intestine. And so it's different from sort of the rest that you get in the kidney and bladder in the water element. The metal element is sort of a sense of surrender. So you could say Shavasana or corpse pose, but you can also cultivate this sense of surrender, I think, within a lot of the postures that we practice. I like to talk about surrender in camel pose, where you really have to let go of your throat and neck and become vulnerable in a sense, or at least allow yourself to feel that. And then pranayama is also beneficial, especially the exhale portion, really lengthening the exhale, and maybe even practicing exhale retention if you have advanced pranayama practice. So there are ways to benefit each of the 5 elements with a traditional practice, with the traditional Hatha Yoga practice, and even taking into account Raja Yoga and the Yoga Sutras. And I would say it's important to consider all of those aspects and not just do one of them, not just emphasize only wood element or only water element in your practice, unless you're trying to reestablish balance. If you have a particular imbalance, you could emphasize one aspect to sort of help yourself return to center. If you'd like to learn more, just take some of our courses. We have online courses and in-person courses as well. Thank you.